going to talk a little bit about practicing number 15 in the Habits book. Your Habits of a Successful String Musician. This is section 2, lower positions. The problem with this is that it is hard. That is why I assigned it. I would like to try to play this for you now on the violin, and I have no promises as to how good it will be. That is with no practice. And that was terrible, in my opinion. And that is what's going to happen to you, not what's going to happen. But if you go in and sight read something and think that it's going to be perfect on the first time, especially up to tempo, that is not what is going to happen, boys and girls. So, this etude, go ahead and your numbers are measured already. Your measures are numbered already. And I'm going to take a look at this with you and we're going to break it apart. Okay, I always say practice smarter, not harder, and that's exactly what we want to do today. We want to practice this and we want to get it under our fingers so that we can work it up and get that velocity, get that speed, be impressive with our knowledge of this piece. Okay, so let's start with this first measure. I know it's going to be really boring to do it this way, but let's try it. So first measure. That was pretty easy for me. Haha! I hope it was easy for you. Just kidding. But seriously, that's the best measure I heard from everybody that I listened to. Okay? If I'm having trouble with that measure, let's look at what it is. Well, it's this. That arpeggio, and then it switches to the other arpeggio. A G dominant arpeggio if you, a G5/7 chord if you're a theory student. But that first measure has two different arpeggios in it already. Let's take a look at the second measure. Oh, it's the same arpeggio on beats 1 and 2. C major. Right? Just a C major arpeggio, and then it goes back to the, what did I say, dominant arpeggio. So, already, if I'm having trouble with this, I want to practice my C major. Probably not all the way that high, right? So it's just C's, E's, and G's. So I have a G and a C and an E and a G and a C and an E. So I want to get those under my finger. Now I want to practice the G dominant arpeggio. Why is this hard? On the violin and the viola, it's hard because our second finger has to change from a high 2 on the G to a low 2 on the D. And fairly quickly. Cello, it's a switch from a third finger to a second finger, so it's a little bit easier for cello. To take a look at that next measure. So first two measures we have C arpeggios, and we have those G dominant, those 5/7 arpeggios. Now let's take a look at the next two measures. Okay, your next two measures, what do we have? Does it look like a C? Oh, look, it's a C. And then what comes after the C? That's weird. But it works. The The only thing that's weird is that in measure 4, it ends differently. That's actually the arpeggio instead of this. So that you have that connecting tone between E and C. And now I'm into a different section. Okay, so I want to practice those two measures, get them. I still want to play them both like the second measure. Okay, a way that I could play a game with any of these, if I'm having trouble, is the long short. So, for all of you sports theory fans at home, it is a dotted quarter 16. Long, short, long, short, long. And then once I practice that and get used to that, now I want to switch it so that it's short, long, short, long. That's always the hardest for me. You want to make sure it's always short, long, short, long, short, long, so that we're focusing on that second note of each group, and then put it back to the way it was. Ooh. Ooh. Almost got it, but I probably want to practice that again if I'm recording on Smart Music personally. Let's take a look at the next set. Oh, the same arpeggio twice, but what's wrong? First finger is low on the A string, and then it's high on the D string. Okay? And then the next measure it's that same thing. Low 2 on the A string. For any of you watching at home, that's a D dominant. Right? That's a D dominant chord, and then it changes to what? G major. With this extra added tone, because they want us to use low 2 on the D string and high 2, or low 2 on the A string and high 2 on the D string. Are you getting the gist here, violins and violas? It's all about changing our finger depending on what string we are on. And then we have a nice little scale. And then we're back to what's in that measure? Low 1 on the E string, regular 1 on the D string on the violin. Next. Ooh, I'm making a mistake because my first finger is not cooperating. You know, this one really gets me because and 2 is inverted where and 4 goes up. So and 2 goes down, and 4 goes up. So you're going, and then you're going. I like it when it repeats itself, but it's what's written, so we're going to play it. So let's practice. Long, short, and then short, long. This is really hard. This is like messing with my brain. I'm going to play it once straight, and then I'm going to like put a post-it note on this and come back to it. It sounded right that time, but I'm sure that later I won't like it. I'm on to measure 11. See how I'm still breaking these up into these little measures? Look, I have an arpeggio, but then I have these notes that rock back and forth. Low 1, regular 1. So that one, F sharp, F natural, E flat, so on my violin it's all about changing my 2s and my 1s. And then this last little bit, that one really stinks because I am still doing that F natural on the D string and the B. This is called a tritone. But the fact that I have to change my finger between strings, and I have to pick it up and move it fast. Oh, I wish I was playing a viola, because they get a 4-note chord at the end. Okay, I'm breaking this apart between measures. Like I've already said, it is really tough, the fact that your fingers are changing on every string. Okay, so nice and slow. I think now that I've broken it apart, I should be able to play it at a moderate tempo all the way through. And let's see if I can handle it. Did you count how many mistakes I made? I didn't count how many mistakes I made, but I bet you that there were at least 7. You can go back and watch it again if you don't believe me. But there were some mistakes. So, does that mean that I'm going to just keep playing it all the way through at that same speed? No, I'm going to find those mistakes, which I'm starting to forget where they were. Oh, the scale, I went too far. So I need to work on this. Right, getting that in my fingers, in my memory, so that I don't have to think about it when I get there. And then there was something else. Oh, these F sharps. Didn't I tell you I was going to have to go back and practice those? Yes. Did I go back and practice those? No. So then did they get better? Right? If we break this apart, everything should be fine-ish. If you do want to play it all the way through, then we need to find a tempo that we can play it all the way through. So I just went too fast for that. So I'm going to have to go back to nice and slow. And don't rush myself. Metronome is on my phone, but in editing I'm going to post what speed that was, and I don't think that was even 96 yet. So that time I didn't make any mistakes, but I was not going the tempo that my assessment is set at. So that's the trick. We need to practice and practice every single day where we're at so that we can get to the next level. Okay? I don't want to sit here and frustrate myself by going, alright, yeah. Oh, I made a mistake. Well, I stink. I'm never going to be good. Nope, still made a mistake. Right? Okay, if we get angry and if we keep going fast and if we fight against this, then it's going to be really frustrating for you. Okay? But break it apart. Also, use 12, 13, and 14 to your advantage. Okay? 34. You're practicing practicing those different hand positions so that you can speed up 15. Okay? Take a look at these. Keep working. Practice smarter, not harder. You've got your different rhythms that you can do. You have obviously playing it slow enough that we can actually understand it and play it, and then speeding it up throughout the week. One of my other favorite practice games, and this one is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 measures long. Random number generator, well, 14 maybe. Random number generator on my phone, 1 through 15. That's the measure I'm going to practice. Next one, let's see what it is. That's the measure I'm going to practice. You could also write them all on slips of paper and put them in a hat, but who wears hats anyways nowadays? Okay? Good luck. Practice hard.